Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're here once again on YouTube Live. I'm here with my good friend James, the Auto Smasher, and I said to him, I want to do something different. I want to get back in the game. Thursday's a bad night for me because I got work and I got overtime, and I'm when I get home, I'm tired, and Rumble doesn't work, and then I'm fighting with my computer and I'm throwing it out the window. So, we're here on StreamYards. I'll buy StreamYards. I think I'm going to give you access to it. If you give me your email, I'll give you access to it. I'm going to call this podcast the Good Shabbos Podcast. How's that for a name? Good Shabbos Podcast.
Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. So
Good
James,
name.
how's everything?
Good name too.
How's everything?
Oh man, things aren't so bad. Not streaming as much live. Always technical problems and the timing, like you say, it's when I get off of work, especially when it just becomes a little bit of an effort.
You're just like
Because
tired,
I'm
and
not
then
in
it's
radio.
frustrating, and you want to break your computer in half that it doesn't work right.
Yeah, pretty much. So I might start doing either a different day of the week because a lot of people can't make it anymore. Nobody comes in except Rosalie. So conversations not really a thing. So I could, just do a live, Torah read and just kind of go from there and just do it ahead of time and then have it on Thursday nights. But I didn't go live last night, and I was like, man, I really wanted to. So I was like, it's Friday, that's right. So I thought I'd give you a call and see if we can make this thing happen.
Yeah. It's interesting how God works in mysterious ways. It's very interesting because I switched jobs, and I've been wanting to connect and get more pious again, from again. And the days they have me scheduled is Sunday through Thursday. Well, guess what? That means I'm off Friday, Saturday. It's almost like, hey, if you're not the rabbi on the roof when the floods come in and the boat come twice, and then you drown, and then God says, why I sent you help twice? It's like I got to be that guy that recognizes it when the boat comes. You just get on the boat. So Baruch Hashem, a miracle happened that God made it where I'm off Friday, Saturday. So there's no excuse not to keep Shabbos. No excuse.
Yeah. That's really what happened with me. It was when it became available. And of course, I don't keep it like a Jew does, but honoring, marking it, family night, whatever. But once I started, they say don't stop once you start doing it, So we've kept it a tradition, but it's been hard. I'm back in the food industry and working in a small town. It's hard to get the help. So I don't get the full day off or most of the day off like I used to. Still won't work on a Friday night, unless I have to, unless it's like an emergency and something has to be done. But
and you're still a manager, right? I don't want to dox you, but you're still doing the manager thing at where you were.
Yeah.
Good.
Still managing a little store, and sales are good, and people are happy with what we're doing. So it's working on that end, and it brings in money. Hey, that's the whole thing's about. Still miss broadcasting, still miss radio, but you do it.
I've been missing Thursday nights, man. There's something about Thursday nights what we were doing that is just it's nice. It was always nice to come and see friends that are like minded, and it just I apologize. I guess it's been like 3 months, 4 months since I seen you, and I really do apologize that I haven't been around, and it's just we need to do. I need to keep something going. So
good. Well, I'm glad to. I've gone into John's 420 Cafe hangout. That's a little more wild. And had some good times. And I just never know when he's going to be up, and and it doesn't always work with work. But I'll see Frank and Cerberus. I hadn't seen those guys in a long time. They're still around. They still come in, so which is cool. Like you say, good friends. And it was like nothing happened. It's like no time passed. We were just busting up and goofing off and having a good time. So I'm glad it still goes. I'm glad there's still hangouts around because I kind of miss that myself. You know.
I do. I miss it. So, as my news guy, you worked in broadcast for so many years. That was your bread and butter. What's going on in the news today?
Mhm.
Give me the current events update. What's happening?
Oh, the one of the big stories is there was an ad that a bunch of Democrats put out. I think 6 Democrat Congress critters put out, reminding everyone serving in the United States Intelligence Division or the military or basically the desk jobs, do not. You are obligated to refuse illegal orders. Never forget in these times, basically saying, yeah, uh, you have the right to refuse illegal orders. Like a serviceman wouldn't
You know,
know that for one, but to say it like they did, and Trump says it's sedition.
they
It's
twist
he
it.
says it's
It's
seditious. They should be
interesting how
tried.
Democrat. It's interesting how Democrats twist something so innocent because on a face value level, yeah, of course. I mean, if you get unlawful orders, if we're not Nazi days are over. You can't just say, I'm following orders. They got put on Nuremberg trial and they were sentenced because it's common sense. You can't just do what your boss tells you to do. And yeah, we get it, but the way they twist it is so sick, right? It's like they make it's completely the opposite of what they're trying to
Yeah.
say. They live in memes clown world. They do. They live in a clown world, and that's the big thing, huh? That's the big thing today, huh?
Oh, the yeah, that's the thing. We had a guy follow up to Trump's reaction and got on. I forgot his name. He was another Congress critter, and he got up on camera today on his, I guess, on his site or whatever, and said, "You need to start. Let me tell you something. If you're in the military, you need to pick an effing side." And I'm like,
Everything's
didn't we do
political.
that
Yeah, that's crazy.
a long time ago? But he's telling the military, pick a
Yeah.
side. You know how many servicemen were laughing their asses off at didn't they see that thing? Pick a
Well,
side.
you would
That's why
hope
they
at the end
joined
of
the
the day,
military.
right? You would hope at the end of the day, the servicemen and women would choose the American people's side. You know, yeah. I think I read a statistic. It was some time ago. I think it might have been like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. I did a news report where it said something like 80% of American, the army. I think it was 80% of the army, and they were asked if they were given orders to open fire on American citizens, they would, and it was alarming because the mindset of like to think like something like that could be happening, and then if that plays into fears, you plays into Alex Jones and maybe Steven Crowder and say, hey, you got FEMA camps. What's going on? Are they, you're telling me that it makes it's just, I know it's a slippery slope fallacy, but it opens up to like the possibilities are endless, and you would think things would be better. That's what I guess what I was trying to say.
Hmm.
You would think that the statistic would be zero.
Yeah.
No one would ever do something
When
like
I
that.
my best friend, he was Army for many years, and
Yeah.
we got into a discussion because after 9/11 there was kind of a hero worship thing going on, and with the soldiers in pop culture and how that kind of worked, and yellow ribbons everywhere. So I was a little trepidatious to talk to him, and I said, there's all this stuff going around, Waco and all that. Remember that? Well, I'm a little worried about our military, or and he looked at me straight in the face and he's like, you have good reason to worry. And that just kind of it shook me up a little bit, but he was dead serious when he said it. You have good reason to worry. And then
Nefarious
when I hear that
people.
statistic from you, it's like, wow. And that's 20 years ago he said this. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
that statistic
Yeah, you
sounds
got
like
you got
a lot
problems with
hadn't
Waco.
changed.
Yeah. Waco. Yeah, nothing's changed. Yeah. Oh, so
You know,
yeah. So can we tie this into a weekly? What's today's parsha? What's the parsha of the week?
we're in chapter 26, 25, on Parsha Toldot.
The dog.
Um, we've got the birth of Isaac and Esau,
Nice.
or Edom, as he's later
Oh, here
called.
we go. Picking us. You want to, the Bel Shem Tov taught that the weekly parsha corresponds to the week of the world. He says the Torah says, God says in the Torah that you have to live within your times, and the Baal Shem Tov taught meant that every week's parsha corresponds to the reality of the world we live in. So here we go. We got Democrats saying pick a side, and here you go. You got Esav and you got Yaakov, and you got to pick a side. Which one you want? Which side do you want to pick on? You know, it's everything makes sense when you're in sync and you can see it. Like I was saying in the beginning of the show, God gave me Friday, Saturday off. You got to be a shmendrik not to see it. A clown. A shmendrik means clown in Yiddish. You got to be a clown.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be the court jester not to understand what's going on. Very nice. Todo. What does that mean? Generations or nations? It means prodigy.
Descendants.
Whatever it translates.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Descendants is what I'm on Chabad.
Descendants. Right.
I'll put the link over here in the chat if anybody wants to follow along. It's just the easiest one. I go from there. I still use Mechan Mamre a lot more because Chabad is adding a lot more commentary, and they have a bold letter which is direct from the Hebrew, and then they explain stuff. And some of it's okay, version, and some of it I think's it's not necessary. I think in a lot of it. I think when it's plain, when it's plainly
does
spoken.
You like just what the Torah says in a basic Peshat level. This is what it says, and then we can learn from there. Yeah.
1917 edition. So this dates back before any politics could play into it or modern.
Wow.
It's the JPS edition. Yeah. But
before that's 1917. That's even before the income tax. Wow, look at that.
Yep. Before I think World War I had been going on a little bit, but they've been translating this for a while.
How we lived as a people, and we didn't have things like corporate tax and death tax and income tax and payroll tax, and you didn't have
gift tax. Give me a break. Can't believe people have to pay taxes.
I met my new job. and they were talking about doing payroll, and I had to do payroll for the. I'm on a more managerial level now, and payroll has to be precise. If you mess up, I didn't realize this, but you pay as a business, as a corporation, money, a tax to the government to pay people salaries. I don't know if you know that. Well, you should know this because you work in the business too. We pay a payroll tax. There's a payroll tax. You pay payroll tax. So every week when you're following like how many hours people work, you literally have to give the government money to give people money. It's I don't know. You could pay cash under the table, then you're breaking the law, but it's ridiculous. Every way they want to get you. It's just like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Did no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. Did that ever go through? What's the update on that?
Yes, it did.
It did go through?
If your taxes are under 32 or 27, I think. If you make 27,000 a year in taxes, you then have to start paying taxes. If your tax income is less than 27,000 a year, then you don't have to pay.
All right, so at least the small guys are getting. I mean, that's good for everyday people and people who are working everyday jobs.
That's a gift. You earn. You get that as a gift from the person you're serving, and they don't have to tip. But that's a gift to the server or to the restaurant.
It's out of control. The tipping cultures. I agree. The tipping culture is out of control. I mean, it's everywhere. You go to Subway, you go to whatever Goyish restaurant you go to. The first thing that they say, the first thing on the tablet, how much you want to tip. I mean, you got your own food, for God's sakes. I mean, what am I tipping for? I mean, it's I don't know. But they don't want to pay. People don't want to. People are hurting. People are being restricted.
This is not just with our. I think this is some.
Go ahead.
There's one thing they've changed, which is actually pissing people off, and this is they joke about it at Starbucks, but this is the format now. In the old days, you run your card. How's your meal? Great. You run the card, and then it prints out a ticket, and you sign it if you have the option to tip at that point, and then the server puts that into the computer, yada yada, and we're done. Now, they take your money, they run their card, and then it's going to ask them for a tip. Do you want to tip?
Right.
So it's like, what's the point of having them
Sometimes it's
sign it?
gratuity. Now some places you
Sure.
go, you run the card. It's automatic tip gratuity, the
Yeah.
gratitude, whatever they call it, automatically added to the bill. You not even a choice.
Yeah.
Or if you use a credit card or debit card, it's a 3% fee for using a card if you don't pay cash. That you have, this now 3% on using cards. What's that about? What's
Yeah.
going on?
The other thing you were
Unbelievable.
talking, yeah, it's offensive to people when you hand them the tablet and you get $3
Yeah,
amounts. It's like, if I want to tip you, I'll tip you. And so
right.
every time they run it, I just say there's a no tip button right up top. You can just go ahead and hit that every time, and
Right.
half of them will tip, half of them won't. You know, but I don't like it's pushy, and people find it pushy, and I kind of can't blame them
Yeah.
if they're only going to hurt the industry by doing that.
Yeah. It makes people. It makes what's the word? It creates resentment, right? It creates a little bit of resentment.
Yeah,
It creates division for no reason, right? That's what I think. That's what it's all about. I think these the elites, whatever you want to call them, the people that run the world, they like causing division. They do things. I mean, life. I mean, it seems like a peasant living in the Holy Roman Empire of 1100 A.D. I mean, when they went to the pub to have an ale and steal bread was the first thing the barman said. The bear wench. Oh, how much is the gratuity today? Are you paying 15%? I mean, holy shit. It's like, come on. You know what I mean,
yeah,
James? It's like,
it's pushy.
uh,
You're going to run people off. They're not going to. Why would they want to? Why would they want to be involved in
we
it? Why would they want
our
to? When you're
establishment. If
pushing it on
if
them.
if you come here, if you come and eat at our place, it's mandatory 3% charge on cards and gratuity at 18% mandatory. It's like, why do you want to eat there? Why do you want to
Yeah,
go
that's
there?
theft. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
They should tell you that before you even eat. Gratuity will be. I mean, that otherwise it's theft. Having that in small print, like at the bottom of the
yeah,
menu up there, you have all this stuff and this, and you're not told this ahead of time. It's whoa.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
yeah. That's
I got mad at one place at a bagel place. It started catching on to it, and I ran my card. I bought I don't know what it was, a bagel and cream cheese, and then I'm looking. I'm like, what is this here? It says 3% on card. I'm like, yeah, we charge 3% on card. I'm not coming back. I mean, I told the lady, I was like, I'm not coming back. I mean, you don't even, you should warn people. You should tell me if I pay cash, I wouldn't have charged an extra fee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on.
hmm
It's respect.
yeah. Well, I think one could see that as a form of theft.
All right.
A
James got the
fee,
link in the
okay,
comments.
but
Sorry. Go ahead. What were we going to say?
I think that if you don't tell them up front that there's going to be fees, it's a form of theft, in my opinion. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you can back out and you can forget the food and you can waste your time and the food, but it is kind of it's sneaky, and that, in my opinion, is a form of
The
theft.
Bible makes it pretty clear. You need equal scales and measures, right? The measurement tool that you use
hmm
has to be fair and balanced.
Yes, and not
You can't
weighted
put your
by
finger on
3%.
the yeah, yeah. It's off by three
Yeah,
percent, and God doesn't say it could be off by 3%. Yeah,
yeah.
James.
No,
What would you like the format of the show to be? Like, if I was to do this like weekly thing every Friday, the Good Shabbos podcast. What's a good way? What's a good format? What's a good topic? What would you like the structure of the video to be? The structure of the podcast to be? Schmoozing. I love schmoozing. You know me.
schmoozing over a Torah, over a nice Torah scroll. We
Okay.
schmooze with a nice chumash or something.
Okay.
Because there's so much to talk about and there's a lot going on, and we don't want to. I don't want to be insular, because I asked the guys how come they don't come in. He's, well, all you talk about is Torah. I'm like, well, it's me and Rosalie. What else we got to talk
Right.
about? So I like to get some folks in here and have intelligent conversation. Maybe how we used to have like a topic of the week way back in the day, or a question of the day. If you came in the room, you had to answer the question. That was always fun. Um,
I remember those days.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. You're good at this too. You're good at this too. Yeah, I read a lot, and I'm up on the stuff over there in Israel and the crazy stuff that people say about that place. I thought Jew hatred was bad, but now it's the amount of brainwashed hate monkeys pounding on keyboards. Everything is. I mean, I know people who stub their toe and would blame Jews.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. It is absolutely nuts. And Gab was like, I don't want to hear any fear mongering for people to make Aliyah. It's like, you don't need fear mongering. It's already there. Madame gets elected. There's a swastika outside the synagogue the next day. Oi, really, really? Well, it's offensive and it's a sign of death. And we could, it's like, are you serious? You painted it. You painted that nasty symbol. So I should tell you something. Not you, but
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, okay, I got you. So I'll make it a little more structured next week. I'll make sure we bring topics, and I bring my A game next week. I just needed to catch up. I really do need to get something going and something consistent and get me back on balance and get me
I
focused
could use
back on life.
a change up myself.
What I might do is keep it a week behind instead of doing the partial of the week we're recording. Maybe we'll do the previous week. So that's the way we did that originally. I think way back years ago. That was the format of like Noah's Nexus and the Noahide Nexus, whatever that was. Wasn't that the way we did it the week before, not the current week? We used to do it, right? We were always 1 week behind.
Yeah, we're always reading out of a book.
Yeah, I think that
I remember that back in the day.
Yeah.
Or even a Genesis conversation. That's an endless. I think, you could stay just on Genesis for months on end. Sure. Rosalie and I took time out and read the first part of a tractate of Talmud just to get through it, and it was something. That was some meaty. I don't even remember. It's been a year and a half. We took time out for some of the.
We could probably do something like tractate, like for Shabbos, like or something like. It's because we could do like an easy one.
Yeah, this was out of the.
Someone wants to know: can we eat fried chicken today? Is there a prohibition against eating fried chicken on Fridays? I'm not sure about that. I don't know about your question. As long as it's kosher, as long as the chicken was
cared for, killed properly. But no, as far as frying up a chicken, it's good. That's good eating. You're encouraged to eat meat. Whereas chicken the Catholics are prohibited on Friday, on Shabbat, or it is encouraged.
That's right, fish Fridays.
And I think yeah, right. But hey, they got some great fish sandwiches and great fish specials out there. So yeah,
it's a good question. How are we going to cope? How are we going to cope with a Muslim running the area now? New York City just elected a Muslim mayor. London had a Muslim mayor for a while. I mean, Paris and Berlin and Europe has been pretty much Muslim mayors for quite a while now. I don't know this guy. I mean, this Mandami guy. He seems a little whacked out of his mind, but. Let's see what happens. Let's see how the first year goes.
The man eats rice with his fingers and uses a knife and fork to eat a burrito. I'm serious. They've shown it. He's eating with his fingers, but he'll on a subway, like he's about to cut open a burrito with a fork and a plastic knife and it's on a seat of a subway. Eating on the subway in New York. I haven't been there in years, but that wouldn't be my place to eat a burrito with a knife and fork.
As a New Yorker, I don't think I've ever eaten on a subway like that. That's weird.
That's the guy. Free stuff.
That's like Hillary was putting hot sauce. Remember when Hillary Clinton said she carries around hot sauce in the purse just to make it seem like she's black?
Yeah. See, I was guilty of that. But not because I thought I was black. It's just that I went on a Tabasco kick for about a year and a half. I put it in everything. There's a great coleslaw with just a hint of Tabasco on it, just
Mm.
pops. I used to
Oh
put
yeah.
Tabasco on a lot of stuff, and I actually had a little bottle in my car. So when she said that, I was like, "Uh-oh,
Yeah.
I've done that,"
Yeah.
but not because I want to be black. I'm an American, so I got a little black in me
I
anyway.
I think
Sorry.
I think with her though it was bad optics because it was like okay, you're in front of a crowd of like African Americans and like what's the reference? Like what I mean, what you're saying, James, is like okay, it's in the car. You need it. You know, you're a regular person. You know, okay, spice up the coleslaw. Like her, it's just like okay, you're just gonna say something culturally different just so that it seems like you fit in. You know, doesn't really make any
I
sense.
ain't no ways tired.
Yeah.
That's what she said to
Yeah.
him. She tries to
So
talk
yeah,
black.
yeah. So
Oi, oi, oi.
this week's Torah portion, the followings of the descendants of Isaac, the son of Abraham. Abraham was the father of Isaac. Now, what's the interesting thing about when it comes to Abraham is that Abraham had a few wives. Technically speaking, I guess in today's day and age, a concubine is different than a wife. I guess I guess the definitions don't exactly one on one, but let's just say Abraham fathered children with many women. Let's just put it that way. But the Bible, what the interesting about the Torah is, the Torah always refers to Isaac as his son, his only son. It many times throughout the Torah, it emphasizes that, even though there was Ishmael and possibly other children that Abraham had with other women. I guess I think there's other children as well. I don't know. It hints to it anyway. It always refers to Isaac as the only begotten son. That's where Christians like to use that terminology. It actually comes from
Mm-hmm.
the Torah. Isaac was Abraham's only begotten son.
Well,
Uh,
Edom or
so
Ishmael, he or not Ishmael, Esau sold his birthright, sells it in this week's Torah. He forsook it anyway. You know, I mean,
yeah,
so yeah, I get that. I get that. My son and I had a falling out, and he said some things and did some things that he just shouldn't have done, and he's on his own now, man. He's got to figure some stuff out. I read that because I know how that feels, and he spurned his own birthright. He
yeah.
didn't care. So good on Abraham. He was right.
So
Isaac, I mean.
it's very so it makes it clear. So I guess I don't remember where I don't really know where I was going with it, but I guess to say that people like to say picking sides. I mean, the Bible makes it pretty clear what God, what path and how it flows down. That's why it's called descendants. Descendants, as in the way it flows down, the way it descends from Shemayim, heaven, and from the spiritual realms. That there's a channel, there's a way to do it. So when it comes to Abraham, the reason why it had to be Isaac is that there had to be order to things. Ishmael was not capable of being an heir for the children of Israel, the father of the children of Israel. Now, it's not to say that he doesn't have his place. Obviously, in Judaism, we agree that the Ishmaelites have their place within the nations, and that they're righteous, and that Ishmael does repent. He does come back to God, and so does his mother Hagar. They come back and they have their place. But God is very particular. He wants Marines. You could be in the Army, you could be in the Navy, you could be in the Air Force, but to be a Marine, it takes someone special. A Navy SEAL, it takes someone special. An Airborne Ranger, it takes someone special. You have to be the cream of the crop, the best of the best. And so it's a weeding out process. It could have started with Adam and Eve to be the head of the Jewish people. In a way, Kabbalistically speaking, Adam was a Yid, but he fell. Not that there's original sin, but he couldn't pass the Marine tests, He could only be an Army Ranger. Oh, hey, okay, that's all right. Noah, same thing. It could have been Noah could have been the head of the Jewish people. It's possible. The same thing with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They could also be. We call them the forefathers and the foremothers, but technically speaking, Abraham wasn't a Jew. It's
Hmm.
it's the same way with baseball. You know, you have Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Yogi Berra. You have great baseball players, the best of the best. But who taught them how to be the best of the baseball player? They had a coach, they had a manager, they had you know people that come in, trainers. Yes, do you give the trainer credit for making Babe Ruth a good player? Sure, but that's sometimes that you just get credit for just being the trainer. So Adam and Eve, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Think of them as managers. Think of them as trainers. Think of them as
Hmm.
people who are leading up to Moshe, Rabbeinu. People. The Jewish people as a whole. Now you're in prime time. Now you got the Babe Ruth. You know. Now you're hitting. Now you're pointing. Okay, the home run's going over there. The home run's going over there. We're going to put the Mishmeach over there. We're going to put this over. Now you can point and hit the home run without even having to try.
That's
That's kind of
awesome.
the end. Yeah.
It's
So anyway,
yeah, very well
what's your
put. Th-
yeah,
Thanks for bringing me home on that.
yeah,
Because I was conflating two parshes. Um,
yeah? You were talking about Yaakov there for a second. I was like, I let him
yeah,
just. I
I
let
was like,
him.
what am I doing? What am I? And I realized it. I'm like, I just gotta shut up. So I'm afraid to say anything. No. You need
There's no
yeah, and
mistakes. It's
that's
happy accidents.
what's hey, yeah, this is my speaking of Bob Ross. I got some happy little mints for my birthday though. So
Wow, happy little treatments.
um,
Wow.
happy little treatment. Yeah, happy little mint. Yeah, the whole point, and I've heard a couple of rabbis say this. Goes, look, I mean, we do what we have to do in the world, but Jewish people aren't there to get you out of jail. They're not there to deliver your children. They're not. Their purpose is not to do finance. Their purpose is to be a light to the nations, a guide. They build a house for all nations. That's the point. Um, and yeah, they live a different life. They have to do certain things the way they have to eat certain ways, they have to dress certain ways, but you expect that of a leader. You expect your pastor to live just a little bit better than you do in a way, to some degree. They're human. Yes, they're human. We don't worship them. We're not exalting, but you would expect, even in, I'd say, any tradition, look at the Shaolin, look at the Catholic priests. They have to lead a different life, than their parishioners do. And that's what the Jews have to do. That's their actual place in the world. That's it. They're chosen for that. It doesn't mean God doesn't love. A lot of people are upset. I like the Hodge twins, but they've been going off about the Jews lately, and it's like, no, there's no chosen. If you choose God, you're chosen of God's chosen. It's like, no, not necessarily. No. It's so much jealousy. They're there to serve that purpose and that purpose
Yeah.
alone. The difference is the Jews don't have a choice in the matter. They don't have a say. You do, my Christian brethren and sister out there. You chose God. Okay, you chose Gotcha too. We can talk on that. But you're the one who chooses to do good for his sake. You're the one who chooses God. That's something that that's what we've done. John and I here, we're not born Jewish, but we chose Torah. We chose God and God alone. Uh, Jews don't have that. They're chosen. This is something they have to do. So there's no. I don't like seeing Christian jealousy out there, and Christian envy. It's. I understand it, but don't be that way. That's not what they're about. God has them here for a reason, and it's going to be good. It is already good for you. God is good for you. Torah is good for you. Deliciousness. It's some tasty stuff. It's good stuff, and they're here to teach you that. That's it. You know. don't I just don't want the jealousy, and the envy, and it's just let them Jew and things will be good. You know, that's all I got to say on that. Definitely.
Amen. Good. James, I'm going to
And
get
it's not
going.
about them. It's
Go ahead, finish what you're going to
it's
say.
about the word. That's all. I was just gonna say it's not about the Jews. It's about the word. It's about God. Okay,
Right.
that's it. So good
Yeah.
seeing you. We'll
Sometimes it's
keep in
hard to
touch.
blend. Sometimes people blend in. Sometimes it if you don't know, I don't blame you. Like someone like Candace Owens, someone like Hodge Twins, someone like Steven Crowder. I mean, they're not hardcore Torah enthusiasts. They're Christians who dabble in the Word of God. You know what I'm saying? So they're I love the fighting. To be honest with you, I think I personally am a big Candace Owens fan. I think I love her. Um, I think she's great. I think I also like Ben Shapiro in a lot of ways. Um, but I don't blame her for misconstruing a lot of things because hey, Jews blended a lot. Sometimes the way Jews talk about things, you think they're fugazi. Like what's going on here? They don't exactly speak right. They don't. They're not. Sometimes Jews are the
Yeah,
worst. Worst their own worst enemies.
yeah,
Uh,
really.
and
And they know this, and God tells them
when
if
you
you don't
have
think God
people,
punishes the Jews,
yeah,
He'll punish them for
yeah,
what they do wrong.
just read the Bible.
Trust me.
Read the Bible that you would know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have to hate them, y'all. You don't have to hate them.
but I always bring it up. It says in the Bible, God told Moses that He's going to wipe out the Israelites, and start over again. So even God has His quarrels with people. Um, so anyway, I really do appreciate you spending some time with me, James. Sorry for being late. Um, I'll be on time next week, and we'll have a proper show. I'll bring some people in. I'll make sure Rosalie comes in. I'll make sure everyone comes, and we'll have a good Fabring, and we'll have a good discussion.
Sounds great, man. Thank you.
Have a good
Good seeing
Shabbos.
you again, man. Be well. You too. Shabbat shalom.
Take care. God bless.